Do you feel out of balance in life? Do you want to learn how to dominate your day, dominate life, and become the best version of you that you can be? Then stay tuned, because today we're going to cover the top 3 ways that you can train like a Spartan to dominate every aspect of your life. Let's get after it. If you are committed to dominating life and becoming unbreakable, then go ahead and like and subscribe and hit the notification button so you can train Spartan and train for life. Welcome, Spartans. In today's video, we're going to discuss how to train like a Spartan, the 3 key principles of training that you need to know so that you can dominate your day and dominate life. So principle number 1 was physical training. So if you look at a lot of the comics, the books, the movies that have come out lately about Spartans, you see these guys that are, jacked up, huge bodies, very lean, and what a lot of us crave. But it's important to realize that when Spartans were training, they weren't training for aesthetics, they weren't training for bulk and mass. They were training so that they could outlast, outrun, outpace all of their opponents to win. And so their key focus was endurance and agility. They needed to be quicker, faster, and be able to outlast anybody. So in your training, you need to focus on being able to outlast life, right? So it's not just doing one massive, huge rep with some crazy weight and calling it a day. If you want to dominate life, you have to be able to outlast any obstacle that comes your way. So focus more on reps and focus on speed and focus on endurance. And so with your runs, you want to be able to run longer. It's not so much about just a sprint, but being able to maintain your pace, for miles, days if need be. So take whatever you're training for, take your longest run and start to push so you can go beyond your boundaries of where you currently are. And if you're doing, weights, pushing weights, doing physical weight training, functional training, you want to be able to push for reps. So, doing many reps of, burpees, push-ups. If you use sandbags, doing throws, grabs, sandbag burpees. If you're doing weights, get the weight off the bar, but do, 20, 30, 50 reps, do 5 reps of 10. You want to be able to function. Spartan training, what I aim to teach you is not just how to look nice and put on bulk. It's about becoming the best version of you that you can be and being someone that can dominate every aspect of your life. And that means that you need to be able to train and become whole as an individual. And so you want to train for function, not just aesthetics. Now, they also, as part of their physical training, you have to take care of your body, of your physical health. And so you need to eat properly. And I'm not going to go, down some deep rabbit hole of diet. There's keto diet, there's carnivore diet, there's vegan, vegetarian, there's about everything in between. I like to try and keep it simple, and I want something that I can personally sustain. And I don't know that I could sustain one of these very specific, unique diets for the rest of my life. I've tried different things, and at the end of the day, it gets difficult to buy things. I've got a family. I want to do things right, and so should you, but also do it so that you can sustain this lifestyle, because it's about becoming, not just doing something. So Spartans, they didn't live to eat. They ate so that they could live. They ate just enough so that they could push themselves and push their physical and mental boundaries. And so what my personal philosophy is if it's natural and occurring and, more raw, like that's what you want to go for. So fruits, vegetables, as minimal processed grains that are as minimally processed as possible. Meats, I don't have any aversion to meat, but eat things that are not processed. If it comes in a box, it's probably not the best for you, especially processed sugars, sweets, the junk food. Those junk calories aren't going to help you become who you really truly want to be and who you deserve to be. So cut out the crap, cut out the processed foods, and get back to eating, what nature provides and what you can get naturally. So that's principle number 1, is train your body, but train it the right way. Principle number 2 is you have to train the mind. And this is critical. If you've got, the physical bulk or, the physical endurance, but you have a weak mind, you will not be able to be successful or dominate in your life. And I know this is true because I have lived it. I was at a point not that long ago where I had a fat, weak mind and I gave up on things. I was negative. On the inside, I was not the person that I wanted to be. And it ended up affecting or reflecting into the outward life as well. Like, you have to be able to dominate your mind and your thoughts. And Sun Tzu put it this way. He said that every battle is won or lost before it even begins. And so, it all starts up here before you have a race, an event, some challenge that comes up. You have to be prepared mentally so that when you, like Mike Tyson said, everyone's got a plan until they get punched in the mouth, right? Like, life is going to throw you curveballs. You're going to get hit in the face and something unexpected is going to happen. But if you've got a tough mind, you can get through anything. You will be unbreakable. And so what you have to do is you have to get uncomfortable. You have to be comfortable being uncomfortable. And I mean, it's not comfortable, right? Like, that's the whole purpose. So I start my day the way that I want it to go for the rest of the day. So I start every single day being uncomfortable. And if you want to know the specifics that I go through to dominate every single day, then go ahead and click in the link below. I've got a landing page for a free guidebook. It's a several page, I guess you could call it an ebook, a pamphlet, a free download on how to start Spartan, how to start every day like a Spartan so that you can dominate the rest of your day. If you start off right, you're going to be able to conquer anything that life throws at you for the rest of the day. But I start uncomfortable. I get in a freaking cold shower, and I do not get it warm the entire shower. And I'll tell you what, that will wake you up. And just that mental knowledge of, as soon as I turn this spigot, I'm going to get blasted with something that is going to flood the senses with pain, and my body and my mind are going to say, get the heck out of there. But if you can overcome that and win that small battle, every single battle you face the rest of the day is going to be that much easier, because you know that you can face things that are uncomfortable and hard. I've started studying some of the philosophies of the Stoics from ancient Greece and Rome. And there was this amazing quote by Seneca that I want to share with you. And he said that when pleasures have corrupted both mind and body, nothing seems to be tolerable. Not because the suffering is hard, but because the sufferer is soft. So what he's trying to say is that if you get comfortable every day, if you just if you take everything that you have and all of your resources to try and make your life easier, even the tiniest challenge is going to seem insufferable, not because that challenge is necessarily hard, but because you are weak and you are soft. And again, it's not necessarily your physical body, it is your mind. Life and society, like, everything that is coming out is making it easier. Fast food, video, whatever, entertainment on demand. Our cars, we've got, mobile sidewalks at the airport, so you don't even have to, walk and waste that energy to get across the terminal, right? Instead of, going upstairs, you can just take the escalator, get an electric scooter, an electric bike, anything to make your life easier. But by making your life easier, you're making your mind fat and weak. And pretty soon, anything that is even the slightest inconvenience is going to seem insufferable and intolerable. And is that really where you want to be, the kind of person you want to be? It all starts in your mind, and to battle your mind, you have to become intentionally uncomfortable. And pretty soon, things that used to bother the heck out of you and seemed hard will become easy. Not because that challenge is necessarily easy, but because you are hard. Principle number 3 is you have to train your spirit. And I'm not going to get into religions for this. You can have your own perspective on what the spirit is. But to me, when people talk about, having a strong spirit, it has to do with like having a strong will. It is if you imagine like there's a little tiny version of you inside of your mind and your mind and your body that controls everything. And that internal you is what interprets everything that is coming in and decides how to take action. So like all of us, like if we're out and it's, 20 below and cold and windy and we're getting pelted with snow, our body is going to physically sense and tell the mind that it is cold and that there might be pain associated with that. But there is, at that point when that information comes in, something has to interpret that. Somebody has to interpret, is this good? Is this bad? Is this dangerous? Is this something that's enjoyable or pleasurable? Is this something that's worthwhile? That is your spirit. That is your inner you, the part that we don't frequently show on the outside, but that our actions reflect who that person is, that inner spirit. And the Stoics also had a philosophy of how, what affects our actions. So the classic teaching is that there's a stimulus and that there's a response, and that, a painful stimulus causes you to move your hand away. Well, it's not that simple, right? Because all of us have biases, have experiences, perceptions that affect how we view and see the world and how we interpret everything. 2 or 3 or 100 people could go through the exact same experience, but tell you that they had a different experience than everybody there, even though everything was exactly the same. Why? Because of how they interpret it, how their spirit decides to use that information to then have actions of thought and physical actions. So it's not just stimulus response, it is stimulus, your internal processing, your unique interpretation, your biases that then affect your own individual response. Again, for me, cold shower, is it painful? Yes. Is it cold? Yes. Is it uncomfortable? Yes. All of those signals are getting sent to my brain. But how I choose to interpret it is, you know what, this is actually waking me up. It is setting me up for success. And so I am going to get my entire body soaked in this freezing cold water so that everything else the rest of the day is easier and I can dominate anything that comes my way that would usually seem an inconvenience. So it is all about your spirit interpreting what is going on. And when you combine those 3 principles of being, training a strong, physical, enduring body, a tough mind that can overcome anything, and an indomitable spirit that controls your body instead of your body controlling your actions, you can absolutely dominate your life. But more important than that, it will help you feel fulfilled. And again, I can speak from personal experience. When you train every aspect of who you are and you intentionally become the person that you want to be, you will have more joy and fulfillment in your life. I promise you that, because you will see that every aspect of you is strong, that there is nothing that you can't conquer given enough time and enough effort. And I promise you, everything will become easier and more enjoyable. So train hard, train Spartan, train these 3 aspects of your life. And again, if you want to know what you can do to start the day off right every day to start Spartan, then go ahead and click the link below. It'll take you to the website where you can download a free copy of how to do a Spartan morning ritual to dominate your day. Stay hard, train hard, be safe, and train Spartan.